We're back at the pool. Obviously, it's the summer series here. Today's focus, we've got a lot of upper body work done over the last couple of videos. So today we're gonna focus on the lower body, hips, torso, and kicking. It's pretty nice outside. Water's really warm, but I mean, the sun's out for once. It's not a 9,000 degree day yet. I think the goal when I always swim too, just get over a mile. Just a little bit. So I'll probably do a variable of about 2,000, 300 swim, 200 kick, and then probably break up a 500 3 different times. I'm definitely still swimming like 1 or 2 days a week right now. I'm still running about 25 to 35 miles a week. Plenty of exercise here. In terms of kicking, there isn't really too many drills that you could really work on, but if you have a kickboard, you can isolate your kick to become more efficient and effective. All right, so we did 300 swim, 200 kick as a warm-up, 500 pull, 10 seconds rest, and we did 850s. I am drill on the odds, evens, swim down. I am coming back freestyle. That means I have 100 kick here, and that also means I'm almost done. When it comes to kicking, and I know I've mentioned it in the last video or two, it's all about kind of having a cycle. So that's how many times you kick per every 2 strokes, especially for freestyle. So if you were a sprinter or your distance is really short, like under 200, you'll probably have anywhere between a very strong 6-beat kick to even an 8-beat kick. And then for the real sprinters, you're just kicking as hard as you can. Any distance longer than a 200, I would definitely recommend a very just consistent rhythm of a 6-beat kick, maybe even a 4-beat kick, depending on if it's over 500, 600 yards or whatever. When you're kicking with a kickboard, yeah, it helps keep you afloat, but keep in mind too, it helps your kick. So as long as your hips are up and you're engaging the whole part of your kick, which we'll talk about. When most people think of the kick, they think of just the lower part of your legs, so your knees and your ankles, because that's where you see a lot of the momentum and at least the most force, especially when you're watching it on TV. So a lot of people think, oh, if I just kick my ankle or if I just really bend at my knee, I'm gonna get a good strong kick. That's not necessarily the case. Imagine yourself kicking a soccer ball. You don't kick a soccer ball like this, right? You don't bend at the knee and then snap through. What you ultimately do is hinge at the hip, incorporate your quad, your hamstring, and you actually follow through, but your kick starts here at the hip. Boom. Much like you follow through with the soccer ball, same thing with a freestyle kick. It actually starts up here at the hinge. You're not getting as much movement up here, but in reality, you're bending up here. Notice there'll be a little bit of a knee bend, but when you come down and kick, that's one part of your kick. The other part of your kick is the up kick. So it's kind of a 2-part motion. So you're kicking down, but then you also have to kick back up. So most people think it's just a down and then a relax back up. That's not necessarily the case there. So I'll kind of demonstrate a little bit of it underwater here now, but get that analogy of kicking a soccer ball. You don't kick a soccer ball with just your knees. If you want to kick really hard, really far, you gotta kick with your hips involved. Focusing the kick on the underwater portion here, you'll notice I have a nice hip rotation, and through my cycle I continue to do what's called the 6-beat kick. So 2 kicks right, 2 kicks left, 2 kicks in the middle as my hips continue to rotate. This one is a little bit faster of a kick here. As you notice, my legs are going a little bit faster for every 2 strokes that I take, roughly an 8-beat kick. And here is a slower version of a kick. As you notice, I have a long pause between my cycle. Slowing things down now, you'll notice that my hips are engaged here. Down kick, up kick, down kick, up kick. My 2K is done. Ended up just doing a bunch of hundreds, some pull. Beautiful day out. The foundation of kicking just really revolves around a lot of hip hinging and staying afloat at the top of the surface. Hips, your butt, your back, make sure everything's in line with the high body line at the top of the surface. You'll find out what rhythm works best for you. Kicking is also just like really hard to film and like talk about, but my examples with my fingers are great, I think. Like if this was my body, and here are my legs. Obviously don't want your legs to be, when you're kicking out like this, if you kick them in a very like dynamic fashion, but again, if you look, it's engaging my knuckles. Same thing with your legs, with your hips. You got to engage your hips in order to have an effective, strong kick throughout the whole part of your cycle.
We'll see you in the next one. As always, go make it a great day.